Okay, and we are rolling. What are the exact steps you would take to rebuild the gut microbiome of someone who has taken antibiotics?
The issue of antibiotics is a huge topic. Because of my work in diabetes, we know that the research shows that if people have had 5 treatments of antibiotics over a period of 15 years, they increase their rate of getting diabetes by 50%. So first thing I'm going to look at is, do we have any blood sugar imbalances? Do we have any diabetes? I'm looking at the bigger picture. So that's one thing that has to be taken care of. The second part of that picture is if there is a issue with blood sugar, then I'm going to also want to check for candida. So once those two things are appropriately focused on, and we have ways to treat candida with a low glycemic diet, what I call phase 1 diet, which is vegetables, nuts, seeds, and the full range of vegetables as a key low glycemic diet to heal the candida, and then some enzymes that also make a difference. Then we also, at the same time, address rebuilding the gut microflora. And there's 2 levels of rebuilding. The first level is also prebiotic. So there's certain foods like radishes that literally stimulate your natural prebiotic, like what you were born with. Okay, broccoli is another food that seems to stimulate the growth of your own prebiotics, which is pretty important. Then in addition, I have a variety of probiotics that I give people to rebuild. Now, the other part of it is often the bowel function is thrown off. So I don't use cathartics, but I use an herb called trifla, Ayurvedic herb, that is very good for reestablishing the natural bowel muscle movement. So we're getting, according to your constitution, at least 1 bowel movement a day, but if you're what we call pitta, 3 bowel movements a day. So we want to reestablish normal bowel motility. We want to build up the prebiotics with the different foods and the probiotics. I also strongly recommend sauerkraut or kimchi, which are natural ways to build that up. But I also will use, when we have a disruption, a variety of acidophilus mixes according to what people test for. So that's like a whole big picture. But I include, we really do need to check for candida. We do need to check if they really actually thrown off their system enough that they have hypoglycemia or diabetes. So I kind of look at that whole picture. And we have to get the blood sugar at least less than 100 here, because that all is going to disrupt the overall function. And it's harder to heal. And of course, blood sugar being higher will also stimulate candida.
Does your blood sugar need to be below 85 to be healthy?
The optimal blood sugar is 70 to 85. Fasting blood sugar in the morning before you've eaten anything. I don't really like it. So that's optimum. That's okay. Less than 100 is passable. Between 100 and 125 fasting blood sugar is what we consider prediabetes. I don't make a diagnosis just in the fasting blood sugar. I look at fasting leptin, fasting insulin, A1C. These are measures that we see when we're considering diabetes and so forth. So I look at that whole picture. Optimum, though, is 70 to 85.